let's get strong. Roll it up, let's roll it up. Talk about it, be about it, take another shot.
Hey, yo, what's going down? I'm OD, and this is Slump Sessions, the show that is the culture. Man, we are back after a few months, and it is only fitting that we come back with a motherfucking bang. Well requested. A lot of people have been requesting this interview. A lot of people. Man, we have Gringo the MC in the building.
Yeah. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Tired, but I'm good.
Same.
And you?
Same.
You
Honestly,
are tired.
I'm not even tired no more. It's like once you get to that point where it's like you need sleep, and then you just hit a certain point and then that shuts off. You know what I mean? I'm just running on. I don't know, man.
You're running on OE and Jack Daniels right now.
Honestly, I really am, man. I haven't even eaten today, man.
It's
a horrible lifestyle to lead,
that is the Gringo lifestyle. Is it Gringo the MC or is it MC Gringo?
It was MC Gringo, man, and then man, this asshole, bro, he lives in Brazil, man, and he's a pretty big artist over in Brazil, and he goes by MC Gringo, so you know what I mean? I didn't want to outshine him and shit, so I just kind of changed it to Gringo the MC, because you know what I mean? I kind of felt bad because he couldn't really rap that good, but I could, so, you know?
Man, it's crazy. I see on your social media, like, the love you get from fans.
It's weird.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of interviews, and I see a lot of different fan bases, and so far I think you have one of the most dedicated fan bases.
In fact, I put it up against anybody, because that's the crazy thing is, like, I be trying to tell people that, because, like, I meet people and I tell them I'm a rapper and I got a little fan base, but it's like the amount of love that I get isn't proportionate to the I don't know how I'm trying to say it, but I'm saying, like, I get way more love than a lot of artists who have way more fans than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have, you know what I'm saying? So if another artist has 10,000 fans, they get a little bit of love here and there. I can have 1,000 fans and get...
But they're dedicated.
Yeah, bro.
Diehard
like, they're
Gringo
real
fans.
Yeah. Like, fucking, I got probably 5 or 6 people with my name tatted on them.
I was about to ask that. What is it like whenever you see a Gringo tattoo?
It's fucking weird, dude. It's really weird. Like, I don't even like. It's cool though. No, like, I don't mean to be like weird. Like, it's creepy. It's not creepy at all because
I bet you it's like a shock.
Yeah. It's weird because
it's like a shock. You're like, whoa,
somebody
man,
fucks with me that much. You know what I mean? Like, cause I got artists that I would tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Something related to their music or something on me. And it's like, I don't view myself as anywhere close to those artists. So it's like.
These people do. They see you as somebody so relatable that they're going to just keep it there permanently.
Facts, man. Hey, they really believe in me even when I fucking don't believe in myself sometimes. Like, that shit, it keeps you going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very easy to get discouraged, but it's hard to quit when that many people go that hard for you. You know what I mean?
Especially in music, it's really easy to get discouraged because you can just be having a bad month where you're not really as creative as you have been or something.
Right.
But you have these fans that keep you going.
Facts, man. Facts. Yeah, that shit it's crazy, man. It's a blessing, though.
What do you do whenever you actually, like, are hitting, like, kind of like a dry spell? You're just kind of feeling down. Do you just go through them or...
You just gotta keep going, man. It's like, I always feel like all the music that I'm making sucks, dude. Like, all of it. Like, Heaven I had an album called Tendencies, man. And Heaven, the first track on it, I went through so many times. Like, I argue with Chris, my engineer, the guy who mixes and masters all my stuff, who taught me how to mix and master. I went back and forth with him so many times because he's like, this is such a dope-ass song. And I'm like, bro, this song fucking sucks. It ended up being probably the biggest song on the project, like one of the biggest songs I made, period. People love it, but at the time I made it, I was like, this is trash. So it's like, I just pushed through it because at the time I'm making it, I think that almost every song I'm making is trash. And then, so you just got to make it and then figure out what's actually good later on.
I guess you just have to, it's like a trial and error.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you view every song as it being trash and then you put it out and you get great responses from it, I guess
it's not even that, because it's like, it's just something in my own fucking head, because I can make a song and then, like, I think it's trash, and then the next day I'll play it and I'm like, you're tripping, like, this is a pretty good song, you know what I mean? So it's like, I know it's in my head, so I just kind of block it out. I just, like, create, figure out what's good later, you know what I mean? Because it's like, if you try to do it in the moment, then it's like, you start mixing, I don't know, man. You start mixing like emotions with the songs. So sometimes you could write a song about something that means a lot to you, but it's not necessarily a good song. But in your head, it's a good song because it means a lot to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's fucking weird, dude.
And it's something that relates to you might not relate to everybody else.
Facts, yeah.
Well, let's take it back, man. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Where is Gringo from?
I was born in a small ass town called West Point, Nebraska, and I moved around a lot when I was real young. I don't know. I lived in a shitload of small towns in Nebraska, and then when I was in like 3rd grade, I settled in a town called Norfolk, Nebraska. I almost said Nebraska because I be calling it Nebraska, just fucking around, you know. Because the hood people up there, yeah, there are hood people up there, and they get it in too. But the hood people up there, they call it Nebraska.
There's hood people everywhere, even in Nebraska.
Oh, facts, man. They go hard. Actually, North Omaha. I don't know if the statistics are current or whatever, but at one time it was the worst fucking. It was the worst fucking place in America for black on black crime at one time. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So people be thinking it's super country, and it is. Don't get me wrong, but like you go to the right area or the wrong area, and it ain't like that. But so yeah, man. When I was in 3rd grade, I ended up in Norfolk. And then as I became like a teenager and shit, I started going down to Omaha a lot. And my mom was fucking crazy. So when I was like 14, I started going to Omaha and like staying there all the time. Like, I don't know, I was too young to be going, because Omaha's 2 hours away from Norfolk. So it's like, I was literally like 14 years old going to Omaha and just chilling in the hood. Like, I mean the hood, like, just like, I don't know, like looking back on it now, I'm like, I was a fucking idiot, dude. I could have got robbed, I could have got shot, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're living your best life back then, man.
At the time, I was like, fuck it, we thugging, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, man, you ain't cut out for that shit, you know what I mean? Like, fuck.
So when you say your mom is fucking crazy,
yeah,
what do you mean that she...
I mean it in the most loving way, but
okay.
She is nuts, dude. She's like, she's fucking... I don't want to like bust her out or put none of like, because she's a great person, great mother, but like.
But she did let you go 2 hours away and
yeah. Well, I mean, like, in growing up and shit, it's like, she was just like irresponsible for one, but for two, she
was she younger or?
Yeah. My mom had me when she was 18.
Okay.
And then not only that, but she dealt with drug addiction and stuff like that while I was growing up. You know what I mean? So that don't help. But she I don't know, man. She was just like, on one hand, she was incredibly irresponsible, and when I was a kid, I didn't get it. I was like, when I was a kid, I knew she was irresponsible. I knew like, yo, normal parents don't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking bringing the bar home for an after party at our house. And we live in a little 2-bedroom house, and we got fucking 40 people there on a Tuesday night, and I'm in fucking 6th grade. You know, I can't sleep. There's fucking 40 people in a little tiny house partying and shit. So it's like, when that shit was happening, I was like, okay, this ain't normal. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I always had everything I needed. Maybe not everything I wanted, but you know what I'm saying? I never went hungry.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she definitely cared about me and shit. You know what I mean? It's not nothing like that. She just was figuring out life as she was going, as is everybody, you know what I mean?
Well, shit, as a kid, as long as you got everything you need, you might not have everything you want, but that's all you can ask for.
Facts.
But these are
if you got everything you want, then you don't want enough. You know what I mean?
But these are the experiences of like you growing up that have shaped Gringo.
Kinda, yeah. Not even kinda, but you're right, yeah.
To be who he is today, man. So I know a lot of people think about Nebraska, and they do think about these small ass towns.
I'm gonna stop you right there, bro. I don't think a lot of people think about Nebraska. You know what I mean?
If you do think about Nebraska, I think about small town. What is it like, in these small towns and stuff, man?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I come from the town when I say where I'm from in Nebraska, I would say Norfolk, because I didn't move there until 3rd grade, but that's where I went to high school. That's where I caught my first fucking charge. That's where I got put on probation. Like, everything growing up and shit was in Norfolk pretty much from 3rd grade on. And,
what was that first charge for?
It was just weed, bro. I never really I've never had I've had a DUI when I was 18. Cause I was getting all my friends into these clubs, man. Cause I was like connected, cause I built a fan base when I was real young, so I knew a lot of people. So when I was like 16, I used to go to this club called Capital, and this dude that I know, I ain't even gonna say his name, cause I don't know if he can get in trouble for that or what. But you know who you are. Shout out you. But he would get us into these clubs and shit like that. He would pay the bouncer and shit, and then I'd bring all my homeboys in, and I was the shit, because we were 16, bro. Going to, like, I'm not talking about some hole-in-the-wall bar in Omaha. I'm talking about, like at the time,
places.
It was the hottest club in Omaha, like, and now looking back, I'm like, bro, if I went into a popping bar, if I went into Clay in Houston and I saw a fucking 16-year-old, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, who was letting us in? Like, that's just irresponsible. Anyways,
somebody needed that money, though.
Facts. So I caught a DUI one night because we went out partying there, and we left there, and I was just, like, racing down, like, residential streets and shit and crashed my car, but and then other than that, I just got weed charges, man. I got one public intoxication because I was with somebody. It was bullshit too, because I was with somebody who got a DUI, and they wrecked their car. I was in the passenger seat, so they wrecked the car, and we get out of the car. You're not just gonna sit in a wrecked fucking car, you know? And then the police come up and they give me a public intoxication for just being on the scene, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, what the fuck was I supposed to do? Like, leave the scene of an accident? Because I'm not supposed to do that either. Either
way, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Fuck
in that
Montgomery
situation.
County, man. That's Montgomery County for you. But no, like, really, all my legal trouble and shit has all been just like party related shit, like drinking, smoking, just like weed and shit mostly.
Man, because I did see on your Instagram you had your mugshot up there.
Yeah. Hey, that was a lit picture. I looked pissed off in that picture, but that was Montgomery County, and actually I beat that fucking case, bro.
Hey.
Yeah, because on my Instagram post, the caption on that, I remember it was Montgomery County planted evidence on me again.
Yeah,
Can you believe it, or something like that? And but yeah, so I went to court and I proved that they actually did plant the evidence on me. I mean, like, they didn't admit that they planted the evidence, but you know what I mean?
Man. Well, at least you beat it. That's all you can ask for, man.
We win over here, bro. We win.
You always winning. How did you grow up, like, around music or?
Yeah, my dad, man, like, my whole childhood is just like, is very like, it wasn't necessarily bad. It was just like inconsistent. So like, but my dad, he was there especially when I was younger. Like, when I got into my teenage years, we kind of disconnected and shit. I didn't talk to him much for a little while, but every time I was around him, he was very into music, man. My mom was into music. She like karaoke sings in the car and shit all the time. She loves like top 40 shit and R&B, like Keith Sweat and shit. And then my dad,
classic shit.
Yeah, like classic, like pop though, like top 40. And then my dad, he plays guitar. Well, he doesn't really play no more, but he played when he was younger. And so when I was like, I got into it when I was like 11 years old. He bought me a guitar, and then he said, if you get better, if you learn how to play this motherfucker better than I can play guitar, then I'll buy you a Gibson Les Paul, which is like the holy grail of guitars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the standard. Anyways, so he owes me a Les Paul, but yeah, I haven't got that motherfucker yet. But I did get better than him. I don't know if I am anymore because I don't play as much no more. But I was pretty cool with the guitar for a while, and so he taught me how to play guitar a little bit, and yeah, man. So, I mean, like, I didn't have nobody that was like a professional musician in my family, or like nobody connected in the music industry. I just grew up with a family that liked music, you know.
As a lot of people do. A lot of people get into it with just, you know, being exposed to it by their parents. And like you said, your mom was into top 40 music. Mm-hmm. How did you get into rap?
Honestly, I credit my mom with my taste in this shit a lot, bro, because it's like, she's in the top 40, and now, bro, like, my favorite music is pop music. My favorite music is top 40. Like,
okay.
Like, you see all these hip-hop snobs, and they're like, oh, I fuck with this underground rapper, and fucking Drake sucks. And, like, nah, bro, like, I'm the opposite, bro. Like, if you ask me who my favorite rappers are, it's probably going to be all the people at the top of the charts, man. That's just the type of shit that I like. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I forgot what the question was. My bad, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, I remember what the topic was, but I don't remember how you worded it.
Yeah, how did you get into rap music? Like,
Okay.
I mean, how did you actually start rapping, and how did you start writing and stuff, man?
So I started out playing the guitar. Like I said, my dad got me that guitar, and like I tried to run before I could walk. Like I didn't know what, like I sounded like shit, bro. Like I could kind of sing, and I could play like 4 chords on the fucking guitar. And I start hitting up promoters like, "Hey man, can I get on this show?" Like, and now looking back, I'm like, bro, you were not ready for any type of performance. But this just goes to show, like, it never hurts to ask, because do you know who Never Shout Never is by chance?
Of course.
You do?
Of course.
My very first concert ever was opening for Never Shout Never on his very first
That's
tour ever.
what's his name? Christopher Drew?
Yeah, Christopher Drew, from Joplin, Missouri, yeah. Yeah, so I was a huge MySpace fucking nerd, like, kind of emo. Yeah, I was pretty emo, I guess, now looking back on it. Like,
a lot of people went through that emo phase, though.
I dyed my hair and, like, wore fucking skinny jeans or girl jeans and shit like that. You know, like, all the shit, like, back then, motherfuckers were like, you're fucking queer, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then now, like, everybody's doing that same type of thing. It's just, like, now people ain't wearing girl jeans because it's easy to get skinny jeans for guys.
Yeah.
But back in the day, bro, you had to wear girl jeans. They didn't make no skinny jeans for guys, you know? So, So I think that that period of my life, that MySpace period, really made me fucking different than everybody else. Now you're kind of getting into the emo rap, like Juice WRLD and shit. He reminds me a lot of the old MySpace bands and shit like that. But what the fuck? Anyway, so I keep digressing, but so I was playing guitar and shit, and I was going to coffee shops and hitting up promoters trying to perform. I opened for Christopher Drew. There's actually a video somewhere on YouTube. He has a song called She's Got Style. There's a video somewhere on YouTube of me and him playing that, because I was a huge fan of his. Mm-hmm. And I saw that he was going on his first ever tour, and he was playing at a venue about 45 minutes away from where I'm from. And so I just hit up the promoter that was on the flyer, and I was like, "Hey, dude, like, I'm really fucking good. Let me play, you know?" And he's like, "Fuck it, you can go first, dude." So I opened for him, and then I met him afterwards, and we played that song, She's Got Style and shit. And then I started playing, like, coffee shops and like bars and shit. I was real young, too, but I don't know, they let me in. And then one day at school, because I was never popular really in school for it, because nobody fucked with that type of music. Like, nobody cared, you know?
Yeah.
And then one day at school, this girl, her name was Destiny. I forgot her last name, but shout out to Destiny, because she pissed me off. And so I made, like, a rap song as a joke, just, like, dissing her and shit. And then everybody at school was like, "Man, that shit's actually dope. You should do more." So then I made a few more songs kind of as jokes, and then it just, like, kind of transitioned into something serious. And I was like, man, people care way more about rap than they do about a fucking acoustic guitar. You know what I mean?
That's crazy that you just started out, I guess, as a way to get back at that girl, man.
Yeah, see, like, before that, I was a little, like, Never Shout Never copycat, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But that was really popular at that point. I mean, a lot of people had that style, and a lot of people were into that. I know a lot of girls were.
Yeah, for sure, a lot of girls were into it.
You get them hoes that way.
But even then, like, in Nebraska, it wasn't really like that, like, because, like, I was the only person my age that I really knew that was, like, fucking with MySpace heavy like that. You know what I mean? Like, going and finding all the new bands and shit like that. So yeah, but, like, trust me, it wasn't popular at all. You know what I mean? Like, there was a few people who respected what I was doing and liked it, but, like, I didn't have a fan base or nothing like that.
Isn't it crazy how back in the day we did have MySpace and how easy it was to put your music out there that way?
Yeah, bro. MySpace really, like, I credit MySpace with where the game's at today, partially at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, they made, like, doing music on the internet a thing. You know what I mean?
They did, and they made it accessible for people to actually, like, go out and look for music that they might not ever hear from, you know, towns from all over. Places all over. That was crazy.
Well, what was fucking genius is the profile playlist, because you know how many fucking dope ass songs I found just by going to my friend's profile, and a song starts playing, I'm like, man, this song is fucking kick ass. You know what I mean? So Facebook, take notes, man.
Definitely. I think now, I mean, I credit how the SoundCloud is now, how easy it is for you to put your music out there and everything, partially due to MySpace.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, MySpace got the ball rolling for sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
That, I think in every generation there's going to be that kind of platform that's going to be easy for people to put their music out there, and I think that's definitely that's hella critical for musicians.
Facts, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, shit, and nowadays it's like there's multiple platforms. You know what I mean? You got SoundCloud rappers, you got YouTube rappers, you got, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just pick your lane and fucking, it's dope, man. It's crazy. It's weird, but it's dope.
So whenever you were first starting out rapping and people started gravitating towards that, what were some of your, like, influences in your style and stuff?
I was just a corny ass white boy, bro. For real, I just like listen to like a lot of Eminem and shit. Like Eminem, 50 Cent. I got into rap actually, like rap music, because my dad, growing up, he was in like group homes and shit, like foster care and shit like that, and he was always with like he always got mixed in with like some hood ass dudes from Omaha and shit. He went to Benson High School and shit back in the day, and just like, I don't know, he knew a bunch of hood ass dudes, I guess, just from being in group homes and shit. And so they put him on to rap music. They put him on to like NWA and shit like that. So then when I was probably like I don't know, like 9 or 10 or some shit, like he bought me, I was probably a little, I don't know, whatever, but he bought me Straight Outta Compton by NWA, and I fucking loved that album, bro. Like, and yeah, I don't fucking know, man. I don't remember. I keep fucking.
Well, you said you were a corny ass.
Oh yeah,
corny ass white. Yeah.
My bad, bro. My bad. So yeah, I mean, I just listened to like a lot of Eminem, and I listened to a lot of Nelly, and I think Nelly's still one of the most undercredited fucking
definitely
artists.
Yeah,
he paved so many fucking lanes, bro, and he doesn't get any fucking love for it now. So shout out Nelly. You're my favorite rapper, bro.
Going, kind of from that, I was watching a video the other day about like white rappers, and then what was it? It was white rappers and then rappers that are white. And it was like
that's a good I get it. Yeah, I get it right as like the way you worded it, I understand it completely. Yeah.
And then like that was a crazy thing. I was like, man, I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
Cuz then they were breaking down like how they have these rappers that use being a white guy, to push their music, and like you said,
Tom McDonald.
Yes,
but I fuck with Tom McDonald. He's talented as hell, but he does do that.
He does.
Yeah.
Tom McDonald he can write. He can word his shit together.
He's a rapper, like.
But but what he's saying is I don't fuck with it a lot.
Yeah, man. I think he's just willing to say whatever to fucking get seen here, to get heard. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's kind of cringy, but I do think he's incredibly talented for sure.
But yeah, that's what it was basically. And then it was like rappers that are white, like people that are actually just rappers. They're MCs, but they just happen to be white.
Yeah, like
somebody like an LP or somebody, somebody who's or
even Atmosphere and shit.
And Mac in his later days.
Yeah, Mac all the time, really, like, because Mac had that white boy label put on him, but, like, you could tell that everything he did was genuine. It wasn't, like, nothing was, like, he was kind of a corny white boy, like, R.I.P., I mean that in the most respectful way, because I was a corny white boy, too, and Mac was one of my biggest influences at one time in my life.
He was one of my favorite artists.
For sure.
I saw him the first time he came to Houston. It was the most amazing thing ever.
Shit.
Amazing.
Where was it at?
It was at Warehouse Live. Or was it a House of... No, I think it might have been Warehouse Live.
Okay.
But it was an amazing show. It was great.
I bet. Was it around the time of like kids and shit then? Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, man, but like, yeah, so Mac Miller, he was slightly corny just because he was goofy, but it was lovable. You know, it wasn't like he's trying too hard. It was like, oh, he's just a goofy ass white boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I thought it was just interesting to see the breakdown of the two, because I've never even thought about that.
Yeah.
And then going into this interview, I was like, Gringo is definitely a rapper that just happens to be white.
Yeah, I would agree with that, man. Like,
because I don't think even in like a lot of most of your music I heard, I don't even think I heard you even say that you were a white guy or anything.
Yeah, dude.
So,
Why the fuck? Like, I heard a comedian a long time ago. He told a joke, and he's like, "It's so fucking stupid when people come up to you and they say, 'This is a picture of me smiling,' and he's like, 'Bitch, I know it's a picture of you smiling, cause I can.' You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so if I'm white, what the fuck I gotta say I'm white for? You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
going into your music, I thought that was really dope that, you know, you were just somebody who was making music and just doing you, and you just didn't give a shit.
yeah, man. I was honestly what it was less noble than that, bro, because it was more so just like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I thought I was cool as fuck, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, but it worked out. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you just sometimes when you're starting off with something, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you just gotta fucking do it. You know what I mean? And you might suck at it, you might fail, but you just gotta do it.
What is it like whenever somebody actually comes to you trying to bring, like, oh, you're, you know, a white guy in rap or anything?
I guess I'm numb to it at this point, man. Like, honestly, a lot of times, well, as I get older, when I was younger, when I was like 16, it always worked in my favor, bro. Always. It was never a bad thing, bro. Like, at first, it would always be like, who the fuck is this? Like, nobody took me seriously. But as soon as I rap, bro, bam, the whole fucking vibe switch. And they're like, oh, he actually raps.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But as I get older, I do notice that, I guess, like, the novelty of it wears off. You know what I mean? Because a 16-year-old white boy in Nebraska, like, he ain't supposed to rap, you know? But nowadays, there's so many rappers of all different races and, you know what I'm saying, subgenres.
You just let your music speak for itself.
Exactly.
I mean,
you just have to make good music now. Yeah, yeah. There's no
Exactly.
gimmicks.
and starting from the beginning, like you've done a lot of different shows and stuff and traveled, you know, I think I've seen you do like colleges and
Yeah.
how is that? A lot of people don't get that experience to actually go out and do what they love to do.
Man, when I've always kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not idolized, but like I've always been attracted to like the whole Rolling Stone lifestyle mentality. Just like because like I grew up, like I said, I got into music playing the guitar, so it's like I was looking up to like fucking Guns N' Roses and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like the first concert I ever went to was Def Leppard and Journey, and like, you know, so in that culture, it's like, it's dope to be like an outlaw, kind of just like,
Yeah.
You ain't gotta be rich. Like in hip hop, it's not dope unless you're rich. But in rock music, it's cool to be poor. It's cool to fucking,
You were grimy, you were a badass,
yeah,
you were fucking, you were raw as shit, you know.
Exactly. So it's like, I've always kind of glamorized that lifestyle of just like fucking packing a bag and hitting the road. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I've always fucking loved that. And I've always been like a pretty adventurous person, man. So it's just like, it made sense to me. Like, anytime I got an opportunity to go somewhere or do something, I did it, man. And it's taken me a lot of fucking cool places, man.
What's been one of your favorite shows that you've done?
To this day, man, my favorite shows that I've ever done were when I started. So I got that first show opening for Never Shout Never by messaging the promoter and just asking him to open. So after that worked, and looking back on it, that should have never fucking worked. That dude should have ignored my message or like whatever, but it worked. So for the longest time in my head, I'm just like, oh, that's how you get on shows. You just fucking message someone, which in a sense it is how you get on shows.
You just reach out to people.
There's more to it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? There's a strategy, you know? But after, when I first started making hip hop music, man, I started doing shows at this venue called Sokol Underground in Omaha, 13th and Martha. Shout out Sokol. I actually got that shit tatted on me. Oh, hold on.
You gotta take off the Russian jacket.
Yeah, I do. I ain't taking it all the way off, though. That's my comfort zone.
That's your comfort zone right there?
Yeah. But it's like, I got that shit tatted on me right here. It says Sokol.
Okay.
It's an upside down crown because it's like the venue is called Sokol, but there's a basement called Sokol Underground. So I flipped the crown like Underground King type thing. I don't know. I was really high, but but anyway, so I start playing. So Sokol was like the shit. Like when Wiz Khalifa did his first tour, he played at Sokol Auditorium. Like that's where, like, for the longest time, that was the venue in Omaha. And So I saw all these big rappers going there, and I'm like, well, fuck, I want to play there, you know? So I found the first fucking show I could find that was at Sokol Underground, and I messaged the promoter and asked him to play, and he ended up being a really fucking good friend to me. And it's kind of a weird situation because he's like an older guy. His name is Benny, man, but he looked out for me, man, and he always paid me for my shit. Even before I was bringing people in, I'd bring fucking 10 people in, and he'd make sure to give me a couple $100 so I could fucking get home, you know? But anyways, so I started doing these shows with him, bro. Like, those first Sokol shows were all of them. Those are my favorites because I went from, I didn't have any fans in rap at all.
Yeah.
And I performed at the first couple shows, and it was all with metal bands. There was no other rappers on the bill because I was an idiot, and instead of trying to get on a rap show, I
You were just getting on anything.
Yeah, you know. But at the same time, I had long hair, and I was fresh off the guitar vibe. You know what I mean? So
it opened you up to a lot of new, you know, people that might have not heard your music at the time.
Facts. Well, and at the time, like, you gotta think, like, now, like, all this SoundCloud rap, like Suicide Boys and like this white boy rap and shit, that didn't exist then. So it's like when these kids go to a metal show and they see some fucking white boy with fucking girl jeans and long hair up there rapping, they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that was unheard of at the time. Like, there was no fucking Suicide Boys. There was none of that shit. You know what I mean? So it was kind of weird, but people really liked it. But I got to see, within my first few shows, I played one show. Nobody knew who I was, but it went well. I played another show. A couple people knew who I was. Played another show. By the time I played like my 4th or 5th show, I showed up, and there's like 20 fucking girls all up by the stage, crowded up by the stage super early. And I asked the promoter, I'm like, the fuck are they doing? Like, the bands don't start for another hour. And the promoter's like, bro, they're here for you. Like, and I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, those shows, man, like, that's where I really fucking realized, like, bro, like, you're kind of good at this. Like, and at the time I wasn't that good, but I could see the potential. You know what I mean? So,
and you saw you were bringing in people, and you saw the growth and stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but like them shows, like, I was probably bringing in like maybe 30 or 40 people a show. It wasn't nothing crazy, but at the time it was like, bro, 30 or 40 people actually liked me enough to come pay fucking $7 to fucking watch me rap. Like, that's insane.
That's great. I mean, there's people who can't even do that. You know?
I ain't gonna lie. Even in today's day and age, if you're fucking selling 30, 40 tickets to open for a bigger artist, that's a decent pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that's good. 30, 40 people in a room, it fills out space.
I mean, yeah, I think we see these big ass rappers go and sell out House of Blues, and we just think it's that easy, but like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? If you can sell 30, 40 tickets, like, you can start to make some real money if you can do it consistently.
Yeah. Especially if you don't have to sell out a whole show to make money or nothing.
Nah.
But, I mean, nowadays you're seeing people like you who can do it, and a lot of people around here, man, they got fan bases, and they're able to bring in 40, 50 people, and that's all you really need to start,
Facts.
Basically your career.
Bro, there's some artists that make a living touring and playing shows to fucking 40, 50 people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even when I was up in Nebraska, like, I was pulling, it just depended on the show, but usually I would pull 100 to 150, somewhere in that range. But it's like, I was making good fucking money doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't need to pull that many people to make good money. Like, you pull 100 people at fucking $10 a pop, that's $1,000. After you pay your DJ, pay for, whatever else you may need to pay for, any expenses, you're still walking away with fucking $600-$700 for the night. Like, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bigger check than a lot of people make working a whole week, you know?
Exactly, man. And that's crazy that you can do that off of something you love.
Hey, most definitely, man.
Let's talk music. Let's talk your music. What was some of the first music that you were putting out, and some of your first project? What was that like, putting together your first project and shit, man?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends, like, what you would consider my first project, because I started out recording, like, the first shit that I recorded was with a Rock Band microphone. I figured out that I could plug that into the computer and use it.
I figured that out too, because I attempted to do that in high school.
Hey, yup.
Please don't go look for that music, because it is horrible.
Oh, no, I still have people ask me about that music, and I'm embarrassed as hell. I'm like, no, dude, don't even search it. Like,
that was my attempt at being a rapper, and then I realized quickly that I cannot be a rapper.
You were cut out to interview, bro.
I was cut. I don't know. For me, it was I didn't know how to structure my music.
Okay.
I could write, but I couldn't structure it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. The structure's an important part of it
because
too.
I didn't know at the time. I didn't know bars.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to.
Oh, you one of them dudes. You just wrote on the notebook paper.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a paragraph or something.
Yeah.
But I got homies that still do that to this day, and they make dope ass verses. But I'm like, how the fuck do you like? You know what I mean? Like,
it's how you work it. But I didn't. I never worked. I never tried enough. I gave up too quickly, and you never know. Maybe I'll come back. But
yeah, fuck it. Hey man.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, Wave House Studios. If you ever need to record, come fuck with us, bro.
Hey, we're gonna get into it. I wanna.
I don't. Shameless self promotion, but like,
hey,
I'm being dead ass though. Like, if you want to rap, come to Wave House, bro.
Hey, definitely check out Wave House. We're gonna talk about it. I want to get into it. But your first project, what was the first project that you put together, man?
So I was talking about them shows at Sokol Underground and where I first started seeing like my first 20, 30 fans or whatever. And I was hand burning these mixtapes that I used to call church, cause at like, okay, so like. I was kind of scouring the internet. Like, I feel like I understood the internet before a lot of other people in my area did, and I understood, okay, you can use Google to fucking learn anything you want, and you know what I'm saying? So
and that was like pre-YouTube.
Oh, for sure. Like, YouTube existed, but it was just like cat videos and shit. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the cat videos. I still fuck with the cat videos.
Classics, facts. But yeah, man. What was I saying? Fucking.
You were using Google and to learn about the internet and
yeah. You gotta forgive me. I'm still running on strip club oxygen, but
and you're already down one whole OE. So
oh yeah, no, yeah. This is light work and a shot, man. But,
oh yeah. I'm about to have to pour up another one here.
But So yeah, I figured out how to use the internet, and so I started exploring other cultures, and I was into Houston, and this was before I had any ties to Houston. I didn't know anybody in Houston. It might as well have been fucking Timbuktu. But so I found some Houston shit, and I got into like church. You know what I'm saying? Church. You know, so I was like, I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. So I just started saying it all the time. Like, somebody say something, I'd just be like, church. You know what I mean? And so I start yelling that at my shows, and all my fans would start yelling it. It would be a chant. Like, before I would go on stage, people would be out there chanting church and shit like that. And so I decided to call my first mixtape, or I called it Church. I called my first project Church the Mixtape. And I literally sat there for like, I don't know how many fucking nights I spent fucking 4, 5, 6 hours sitting there burning CDs, burn a CD, write my name on it, write church, put it in the fucking thing, burn a CD. You know what I'm saying? Like, for hours and hours. And that's kind of how I did that. And the music sucked, but it was cool at the time. People liked it, I guess. Some people did. And
what year was this? This was
bro, I was fucking like 15 probably. I don't know. I don't even know what year I was 15. It would have been 10. I'm 25 now, so that would have been like 10, 11 years ago. So 2010, 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. And then I did that for a long time. And then my uncle, he lived in Colorado, in Denver. Before Denver was Denver, he lived in Denver. And and he had a neighbor. He lived in like the hood, right? Because he didn't have much money, so he bought a house in the only neighborhood that he could afford, which was like a ghetto-ass neighborhood called Cole. Shout out to Cole in Denver. If anybody watching is from there or has been there, it's a dope there's a lot of culture in that neighborhood. But so his next door neighbor was like, they owned a recording studio. And so my uncle was like, come out to Denver and I'll hook you up with him. You can record in a real studio. So I was like, cool. So I go out there and we go to the studio, and it turns out that studio was just a front, like, for some shady ass shit they were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were good people, but they were involved in some shady ass shit. And so he put me on to his friend, and I recorded. I don't even know if I had a name for that project, but I recorded like 4 or 5, maybe 6 songs out there. And I really started pushing that, and I started getting radio play up in Nebraska with it at 89.7 The River, a radio station it's actually in Council Bluffs, Iowa, but Council Bluffs and Omaha are like the same city. It's kind of like
I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't even know where Nebraska is.
What? No, you're not. I'm not surprised because a lot of people don't. But it's like, so if you go north of Texas, you got Oklahoma.
Yeah.
If you go north of Oklahoma, you got Kansas.
Okay.
And then if you go north of Kansas, you got Nebraska. So it's like 3 states up.
So you just came all the way down.
Hop on 45, go north for 14 hours, and you're in Nebraska.
Shit.
Well, it turns to 35 in Dallas. But anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, you go north for 14 hours, you're in Nebraska.
Okay, so that, 3 states up.
Yeah, yeah. So I made that little thing in Denver, but I didn't really have a name for it. But the first like real project that I probably made was after I came to Houston. And no, I'm lying. I had one called Fuck It, Love It, or Hate It. And that was actually the only reason I thought of that. I would have completely forgot that was my first project, except today is the 9-year anniversary of it. So
really?
Yeah.
Where can people find that one at?
They shouldn't. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that project.
Well,
but I think it's on DatPiff still. If somebody's really interested and wants to find it, I think it's on DatPiff. But
I should have looked up your DatPiff.
Oh yeah, no, please don't, man. Please don't. I
forgot DatPiff was a thing.
Yeah, man, DatPiff was it was the shit for the time. Like now looking back, it's like primitive, it's like stupid, but like at the time it was fucking dope. Like I want to download whole mixtapes, like you know what I mean? Now I don't, but at the time that shit was hard.
That's crazy because even you being so young, you're only 25. You were still.
I'm glad you think that's young because I be feeling old, man.
Hey, I'm 26. I feel old too.
Hell yeah. See, you could, yeah.
I just turned 26 a few months ago.
I'm slipping, G. I opened 2 beers.
Hey,
fuck it. I drink them both.
So yeah, even you being so young, man, you were around during that pressing your CD, writing on it. How
got it out the mud?
Exactly. How was like that's crazy. How people used to have to do that. Now all you have to do is just upload it.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. I mean, the time. So back in the day when you had to burn your own CDs and shit, okay, so you might the amount of time that you spent burning those CDs, which was a lot of fucking time, that shit was time consuming. You still have to spend that same amount of time on your online releases. Oh, well. You're just not spending it writing on CDs and shit. You're spending it submitting to blogs.
Yeah, you were in that in between where there was people still having CDs. Weird. And then people still on the internet.
Yeah, and half of your fans are saying CDs are fucking stupid, and the other half of your fans are saying, "Man, when can I get a CD?" You know what I mean? So it's fucking weird, dude.
It's weird. Even now, a lot of, no disrespect, but yeah, a lot of older heads that are still trying to rap.
Fuck the old heads.
They'll give me a CD, and then in my head, I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I don't even have a CD player.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I ain't even gonna lie. I got shitted on because there's this little kid. His name is Carter. Shout out Carter. And his mom, Lisa. She's cool as hell, too. And his brother. Anyways, he was interested in making beats, so I was helping him make beats, like learn how to make beats when I was up in Nebraska. But he had a birthday party, and I didn't know what to give him, but he's a huge fan of my music, so I gave him a bunch of merch, and I gave him a CD, and his dad was there, and apparently his dad's like a dick or something, I don't know, but he was like, he's like, fuck is he gonna do with the CD? And at first I was pissed, I was like, you're a fucking douchebag, but then I was like, yo, you're fucking right, though, like, what is he gonna do with, this kid don't know shit about CDs, like, he got an iPad, like, fuck a CD,
but I still, I don't listen to CDs, but I appreciate like a hard copy of something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you even over here, we got 2 Raw on the wall.
Yeah, that shit. Shout out 2 Raw, by the way. That's my boy, man.
Yeah, shout out 2 Raw. I just saw you do something that I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I do weird shit, bro.
I think you just poured Jack Daniels into an OE.
Yeah, I did.
What is this? Is this something you do?
It's like when you add an extra shot of espresso into your Starbucks.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Same logic.
Is this something you do regularly?
I don't really like.
Or have you ever tried this?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm just kind of like unpredictable. Like I just do weird shit I just always try to like switch it up, you know? Like, but I have done this before. Yeah, I have.
Is this a thing?
I don't do it. I don't know, but I don't do it regularly.
Does this have a name?
Oh, it should. Shit. Let's call it
MC Drinko.
MC Drinko. Let's call it I don't know, man.
This is your drink right here,
it's just one of my tendencies, dog.
Because you can see clearly what you did over here on the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, did I just see him?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I didn't even. It wasn't even a conscious decision.
And just
I didn't like I said, I'm running on Onyx oxygen right now. Like
you're wild. Okay,
kinda shit. Sometimes you caught me on a weird day, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm just weird today, man.
Hey, this is good though.
Hell yeah, man. No, I ain't gonna lie. I fuck with it so far. Like this is dope, man. I wanna come back and do this every week with you. I know you got other guests to get in and shit, but like this shit hard, bro. I wanna come back already.
Well, maybe you could be the second guest. We have 2 Raw come for the first guest of the podcast. Maybe we'll have MC Gringo come back.
Hey, do a joint one with me and 2 Raw. That'd be lit.
Let's do it.
That'd be lit.
We're gonna set it up.
Since we haven't made no music together yet, at least maybe we could get a podcast feature in.
Hey, that's gonna be dope. And we'll get a freestyle or something. Does Gringo freestyle?
I mean, today I do. Fuck it. I'm down today, bro. You caught me on the right day, bro.
Hey, okay, well, let's go to, how did you even get to Houston from Nebraska? Because so far we've been talking, you're still in Nebraska. You haven't.
Yeah.
How did you even link down to here?
Okay, so, man, like, you be asking me questions that are, like, long-ass stories, and then
that's good.
No, you're asking good questions, but it's frustrating for me because it's, like, it's a long-ass story, and I'm, like, ADHD as fuck right now, so I start my story, and then I'm like, fuck, what was the question? But, long story short, Chris Howard, man, he's actually the dude that owns Wave House. I know you said we get into that later, but he when I first started all this shit, when I was in the stages of the rock band mic and shit, a friend of mine that I played basketball with, his name is Neil Winters. He had a sister that went to UNL, which is the Cornhuskers, University of Nebraska at Lincoln, the like only famous thing in Nebraska pretty much. And
other than Gringo the MC.
Facts. So there's a dude named Christopher Howard who is now like my business partner, my best friend. That's like my brother, you know what I mean? But so he was real into football. He went to go walk on at UNL. He was going to play for the Huskers. He went up there. Tuition was expensive as fuck, and he's like, fuck that. But he met this girl named Kristen Winters, who was a friend of mine's sister. She gave me his music, Chris Howard's music, and I was like, man, the mixing is fucking really good on this. It sounds professional. So he says, I can start mixing your shit, bro. So I start emailing him shit. He starts mixing it, and then I never meet him for like a year or two. He's mixing and mastering all of my shit, and then he came up for it was his 21st birthday. I had a concert actually at Sokol Underground, that venue we were talking about, and I think it was a Halloween party or something. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Anyways, so Chris comes up for that. I meet him, and then just like, I don't know, we just always hit it off, man. I'd always talk to him over the internet, and when I got locked up when I was younger, he would always write me and shit. He's a solid ass dude. And so when I was 18, I was always in trouble when I was younger, like on house arrest and probation and state ward and shit like that. And then when I turned 18, like they had to let me off papers and shit, or they didn't have to, but I got off papers and shit. And Chris was like, man, come down to Texas. Like, I'll fly you down here. You can stay with me. Let's just see what fucking happens, you know? So he flew me down. I had met this dude one time before this, and he flew me down from Nebraska. I got off the plane. He picked me up, and we just been running ever since, bro. Like,
that's how you know a solid ass dude.
Yeah.
You've only met him once, but he fucks with you so heavy. He believes in what you do. He thinks you're so dope.
Yeah.
And he trusts you that he's gonna fly you down here, man.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like we were strangers. We talked a lot, and he had mixed probably 100 songs for me by this point. But number one, he did all the, like, he mixed 100 songs for me for free. I wasn't paying him nothing. He just believed in the music, and he wanted to build with somebody, like, because he had rapped, but I think he got to the point where he was like, I don't really want to rap. I want to mix and master. So it was dope for him because he found a dope artist that he could practice on, experiment with, and obviously it was dope for me because my music didn't sound like shit no more. You know what I mean?
You had somebody who's amazing at it.
Yeah, man. And so, man, it's kind of fucking weird how it happened. So he flew me down here, and I don't know, man. Like, I lived with him for a couple months and met a girl, moved out, lived with her, and just kind of like started my own life and shit. You know what I mean? But he's always been there for me. Even
Are you still with this girl?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. But she was I don't even know why I brought that up, but I'm rambling. But no, like ever since then, bro, he's been my most solid fucking friend. You know what I mean? Like we butt heads, we fight, but at the end of the day, like if I need anything, that's my go-to dude. I don't have no family here. Like I can't call nobody really. Like
brothers bump heads.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And he's real stubborn and I'm real stubborn, and you know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, it's love.
Yeah, we're both the type of people that like we want to be right all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like we gonna fight. But no, man, like at the end of the day, like he's bonded me out of jail, I think multiple times, but at least once for sure. And but he's just like you know what I'm saying? Like little shit like that you take for granted. Like, you know, like if I'm fucking $50 short on rent, I can get him to cover that, hit him back. Like, you know, little shit like that. Like, I was down on my ass when I first quit my day job and started doing music and shit. I was down on my ass. I ain't have nothing, and he fronted me the money to go get a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a cheap ass little car, but it was what I needed at the time. Like, just little shit like that a lot of people would normally have family around for or something to help with. He's been that guy for me in Texas.
What is it like, you know, like quitting your day job to actually do music full time?
I don't know, man. Like, whenever I was, like, young, when I started making music, I would always think to myself, I'm like, bro, like, I don't have to be, like, rich. I just got to be able to live comfortably off music. I want to be able to pay. And I remember being, like, 14, 15 thinking that. And then, so then a few years ago, man, I was running studio sessions out of my apartment, and studio sessions were kind of picking up. I mean, looking back on it, I should have never fucking quit my job. But at the time, I was like, fuck this. I quit my day job. I had a job at an upholstery shop. I don't know if I quit or got fired, but I basically just quit showing up. And yeah, man, I just fucking thugged it out, man. Within a couple months, I got evicted from my lights got turned off. And if you ain't got no lights, you can't run no studio time. Yeah. So I couldn't make no money. So I got evicted from my apartment, kind of stayed in my car for a little while, fucking stayed with a girl, stayed with her parent, like just like random shit, just basically homeless, you know what I'm saying? Like crashing on couches and shit. And fucking sucked, dude. And then I moved up to Nebraska. I stayed with my family for a little while, just kind of bounced around Nebraska. I was doing shows for money, making like anywhere from like $500 to $700 a show, doing like, you know, a few shows a month or some shit. So I was still pretty fucking broke. And not only that, but I was fucking irresponsible with my money. And then really where I started picking up is then Chris, that dude, he built a studio here in Texas called Wave House. Well, it didn't, like at the time, like I don't even know if it had a name, but so he told me, he's like, man, come back down to Texas, because he's got a dope ass job, man. He went to college. He's got a double major. He's one of the most responsible fucking people. Like his life is like a blueprint for how fucking responsible adults should be. But so he's got a dope ass job. So he had all this extra money to invest. He had all this studio equipment. He's like, man, I'm gonna open this studio. Will you run it? Like run it day-to-day operations. I'll make sure you're making enough money to pay your bills, and you know, let's build this shit. And so I was like, hell yeah. So I come back down to Houston, and I've been running Wave House ever since then and shit, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, like at first I was making okay, like not even okay. I was making like kind of shit money, but to make it all off music, I was like, fuck, this is dope, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, a lot of people.
Like $1,000 a month. Like, I could have went and worked at Wendy's and probably made more, but like, to me, that was the shit. And I was working like, oh, shit.
Oh. You can keep going.
Oh, cool. And I was working, like, I don't know. Anyways, so that shit was, I don't know, shit was cool. And then like ever since then, bro, business has just been more and more and more and more and more booming, man. We keep improving the studio, and I keep meeting more and more people. So far, pretty much everybody that's come through Wave House has been happy with it. So that's helped me a lot with, you know, bringing like returning clientele back. And I don't know, man, finally making enough money. Like I can buy name brand cereal and shit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not rich. I'm waiting to go get that Rolex because I can't afford that yet, but I can get the name brand cereal if anybody's wondering.
Hey, that's all you can wish for, man. Name brand cereal is a priority.
But no, to be honest though, like when I first quit my job and shit, bro, it was fucking rough, bro. My apartment was already ghetto as fuck. already like completely roach infested. Like I'm talking like I'd have studio sessions over, and I like this interface right here. I'd have like there was like vents in it and shit. I'd have roaches crawling out of my fucking interface in the middle of sessions and shit, and I'm like, fuck, like, you know. So it wasn't glamorous at all. And then I was broke as fuck, dude. Like I only owned one pair of shoes for like 2.5 years, bro. Like this was recently, like. Up until like a couple years ago, I only owned one pair of fucking shoes. They were dirty as fuck, beaten up as fuck. Like, cause I did everything. I worked in them. I did this in them. I did that in them. You know what I mean? So it's like, it shit sucked, but it's finally getting now to a point where it's like starting to be worth it, man.
Hey. Running the camera by yourself. That's what you got to do.
Hey, hell yeah. Hey, y'all finessing.
Hey, but no, like that's crazy because a lot of even a lot of people don't get that opportunity to live off of what they're creating.
They don't make that opportunity, bro. You know what?
Yeah, well that's like, true. Because like you said, it wasn't glamorous.
Right.
But you thugged it out. You struggled and you went through it and
facts.
And now look at you.
Facts, yeah, because that's the thing too is like
a lot of people don't want to go through that struggle.
And number one, the first thing I want to say, bro, is like yeah, I've had help. Like I've never had anybody like just give me fucking, you know what I mean? But like I'm blessed to have Chris, bro, because without him, like I don't know what I would be doing right now. I would definitely be making music, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I've definitely been blessed with people that have helped me and put me in good positions, but at the same time, it's like, those people believe for a reason, you know. Somebody like Chris, like he's not gonna just tell somebody, "Hey, go run this studio," if he doesn't really think like, "Hey, this motherfucker knows what they're doing." You know what I mean? So, I've definitely been blessed, man. A lot of people have helped me out at times when I really fucking needed it, man. And when I was broke as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like. I always had, even like I said when I was a kid, man, I didn't always have what I wanted, but I always had what I needed, bro. Like, even if I was sleeping on the couch, even if I was sleeping in my fucking car in a Walgreens parking lot or some shit, I was cool, though. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just lucky. It could have been a lot worse, man. But at the end of the day, like, you just got to take that risk, man. You got to jump. You know what I mean? And it's going to suck at first, but you gonna figure it out. If you just tell yourself, like, yo, if you want to make a living off music, stop doing anything besides music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you ain't gonna make a living at first. You gonna live, but you gonna be broke as fuck. But it's like, if you're working a 9 to 5 over here, you're doing that. Like, don't get me wrong, you might need to do that for a while, but there's gonna come a point where you gotta fucking shut that easy money off, and you gotta go get the hard money. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
So Wave House, how do people get, you know, into contact with Wave House and get in contact with you to actually book sessions and stuff?
Man, hit up me or Chris, man. we have a website, wavehousestudios.com. That's WAVHOUSESTUDIOS.com. But yeah, just hit me or Chris up, man. Hit us up to book. Chris don't really run too many sessions there. It's more so how it's set up right now is I'm running all of the sessions. And then, because Chris is still better at mixing and mastering and shit than me. What I know about mixing and mastering, I've learned from Chris. So when I have questions and shit like that, I'm still going to Chris like, man, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? So, so he don't really run sessions, but if you need to book, you can definitely get in contact with him to book, or you can get in contact with me, man. I try to stay pretty easy to reach. I mean, sometimes I suck at answering my phone, but I try, man.
Hey. But it's a great looking studio.
Hey, thank you, man.
It's a great looking studio. And I saw you whenever y'all were posting pictures of like whenever y'all were building it, and what was that?
I ain't even gonna lie, because I was up in Nebraska while that was happening, so I don't want to like take credit for building it. That was all Chris, man.
So he built it,
bro. He built that whole from the ground up, pretty much by himself. He had somebody build the shell of the building, and then he did everything else himself. And he had an electrician friend of his helped with the electrical work, but other than that, bro, he built that whole by hand pretty much.
That is crazy because it looks.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It looks great,
and even like the little details, like the baseboards and shit like that, are just like, it looks dope. You know what I mean?
So, hey, anybody out there, hit up Wave Studios, Wave House Studios, man.
House of Waves, Wav House.
Hey, get your shit mixed right. get your shit ran by Gringo the MC, man.
It's a good vibe, man. Come fuck with us for real. Like, cause I think I ain't gonna lie, like I'm really happy with like how I'm turning out as an engineer. I'm still learning and I'm still improving on technical shit, but at the end of the day, like I'm an artist first. So like I already know what you're like, not you, whoever's in the studio, I know what you're trying to do. Like I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like
y'all be in trusting hands.
Facts, yeah, Allstate.
Is that the tagline for Allstate?
I think it's you're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, well, you're in good hands with fucking Wave House.
Hey, facts, man.
Hey,
facts.
So let's talk a little bit about the show Improve. That's something that's really big on your social media.
Yeah.
And a lot of people kind of follow that. What is that?
I don't even really know, man. It started off as I was just doing like a song a week and doing like mostly remixes and shit. And then it kind of just evolves like. But the concept of it is just like show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody say they can rap. Like, cause I got this big problem, bro, with all these rappers, bro. You got rappers, and it's like they get a little buzz on a song or some shit, and then something happens in their life, and they go to Facebook or they go to Twitter or they go to Instagram and they bitch about it and this and that. It's like, bro, you're a fucking rapper. If you got something to say, make a fucking song. Like, you know, like people always sitting here like, oh, nobody's listening to my music, and it's like, yeah, because you're bitching on Facebook about this and that and taking subliminal shots at other. Do that in your music, dog. Like, that's the interesting shit that people want in music, you know. So to me, it's just kind of a point to, if I got something to say, I want to do it through music. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. Why the fuck would I sit here and make fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man.
You let your music speak for what you got going on in your life.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. If you're an artist, then I feel like that's the fucking point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, So yeah, Show and Prove is still evolving, bro. Like at one point it was just remixes, and then for a while I was making all my own beats for the Show and Proves because I was like, if you're gonna show and prove what you can really do, to make the beat too. Yeah. And then after a while I was like, man, fuck it. I just started like, it's whatever, man. It's just
And that's what's dope about you is not only do you record it, you write, you produce.
Yeah.
Because I've heard your music and I think that's one of the best fucking producer tags.
Oh, like Gringo.
That shit that had me rolling the first time I heard it.
Thank you, man. A lot of people do like, and I never thought much of it, but a lot of people lately have been saying they like it.
I like it, man. It's dope, but that's what's crazy about you. You do it, you know, you full circle with it.
Thank you, man.
And Show and Prove, you know, I think it doesn't have to be your beats that you're rapping over. I mean, some of them are, but like you said, man, you're putting what's going on in the music.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, hell yeah.
And then this last project that you put out, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that, because I know the cover art has a little backstory to it.
I'm glad you dug into that, because like a lot of people some people think that's me on the cover. I'm like
I mean, at first glance, at first glance you look at it, you kind of like,
you would assume that it's the artist.
It's a white guy. It's on the cover. You assume it's you, but you have a backstory to it.
Yeah, man. So I decided that I wanted to call the project All Dogs Go to Heaven because it's like, it's not like, it's like the old children's movie and shit. All dogs go to heaven, but it's like, it means something like all dogs, not like puppies, but like humans, like dudes, like dogs. So I kind of made that, and I just wanted it to have, I don't know, I was just so focused on having some type of message in it. I just don't want to drop something because it sounds cool. I want it to mean something. And one day it just fucking hit me, man. And actually I had gotten, so one time I opened for Dram in Omaha, right when Broccoli was pop. Oh yeah, Cha-Cha. But no, when Broccoli was popping.
Okay, with Yachty.
Dram got booked in Omaha, and I opened for him. And at that show, there was these kids, and they reminded me of me when I was younger, because they were young. They were like 17 or some shit. One of them was on house arrest, cut off his house arrest monitor to come to the show.
Damn.
And man, they had all this acid and shit, and they gave me some acid. It fucking completely blew my wig back, bro. It was crazy. Bro, there's pictures of me and Dram, and like my eyes are like this and shit. But anyways, so one of those kids, his name is Corey Jones, and he was a big fan of my music, and he's from my hometown. Norfolk, and he passed away like shortly after that show. You know what I mean? And so I had an idea. I was like, man, I want to put him on the cover of that hoe. And originally my plan was I want to make a volume 2 to all. I don't know if I'm still gonna do it, but I want to make a volume 2 to All Dogs Go to Heaven and use a different fan who's passed away. Cause I've had hella fans that have passed away through whatever, car crashes, overdoses, anything, you know. So I just kind of, you know, he showed me a lot of love, and he passed my music on to a lot of people, and I appreciate that. So I want his legacy to live on. Like, All Dogs Go to Heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's super dope that you're connected with your fans in that way.
Yeah. I hit up well, his friend had hit me up, and his friend hit me up and asked. He said, "Hey man, Corey met you at the Dram Show or something, and he was a huge fan of your music. It would be really dope if you could shout him out in a song." And I got the message, and I was sitting there thinking about it, and so I was like, bro, I'll do you one better. You know what I mean? And so I went to Corey's Instagram and got one of the last photos that I could find of him, like one of the most recent photos that I could find before he passed. And it was just like, it had the fireworks in the background and shit. It was like him just standing in front of fireworks, happy as fuck. And these fireworks all going off in the background. And I was like, man, that's it. Like, that's the cover. You know what I mean? Like, and it was like a low quality image and shit. Like, super bad lighting taken on a fucking probably low level Android or some shit. But just like the whole vibe was just like, yeah, man. Like, I felt like he was talking to me. You know what I mean?
Well, definitely RIP to Corey, man.
Yeah, shout out Corey Jones, his whole family. They've all been super cool and supportive about it.
Gringo is definitely keeping you alive out here. He's definitely. I know who you are.
Yeah, true.
Through Gringo.
I'm doing what I can, man. I'm trying, man.
Hey, so what's next for Gringo, man? I mean, you said you might be in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, but man, what are you working on right now?
On it, well, the reason why I said might is because like right now, bro, I don't even want to drop no projects, because it's like, why? Like, I could just drop singles. I could drop a single every week, because if I drop like All Dogs Go to Heaven, and you start looking at the numbers, and it's like, then Less Than a Mill has a bunch of plays, Django has a little bit less. Fucking what's 3 2 involved? Track 3 is like 2 involved or some shit that has. Anyways, it goes down and down and down the further down you go. So like the moral of the story is people
Drippin'
are always
Finesse, 2 involved, Chicken.
Drippin' Finesse, yeah.
Before the Kappa, yeah. The whole project is great.
Hey, thank you, man. But my point is that songs get buried when you drop a project, because some people just check out the first song or two. So I'm like, man, instead of that, I would rather just drop one song at a time more consistently, because everybody will check that hoe out when it comes out, you know, rather than play the first couple songs off the album and whatever. So I want to do a bunch of singles. A couple days ago, I made a song called Northside, and a dude named Ken Lewis actually offered to mix it. He runs an online audio school. Well, first off, Ken Lewis is the fucking Michael Jordan of mixing and mastering, bro. Like, this dude, he's got 97 platinum plaques. He worked on All of the Lights for Kanye. He worked on 2014 Forest Hills Drive for J. Cole. He worked on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He worked on...
It's one of my favorite albums.
Bro, he worked on Good Kid, Mad City for Kendrick, To Pimp a Butterfly for Kendrick.
Okay.
He's like, he touches
this
everything.
Guy's got the accolades,
like,
man.
all of the classics, he's probably touched them. Anyway, so he heard Northside, and he runs an online audio school, and he heard Northside and he wanted to mix it. He said, I'm going to mix it for free. I just want to be able to make a tutorial using your song and put it on my online audio school, which this motherfucker's charging in the fucking triple, quadruple digits for his mixes. So it's like, we were blessed that he's like, he could use our song to help him, and obviously we could use his fucking $1,000 mix. You know what I mean? So he mixed that hoe. That's probably gonna be the next like big single that we really push. And he actually wants to mix more of my music. He's chosen another song already, and so he's probably gonna be mixing a bunch of my music, which is dope as fuck. But other than that, man, I'm just trying to keep putting out music, bro. I'm trying to not think about it too hard. Like, I'm running the studio. The studio's going good.
You're taking it day by day.
Yeah, I want to start, once the studio gets a little bit more settled in and things aren't so crazy and my schedule's not changing so much. I want to get out to traveling more. I want to fucking get out to LA a little bit more. I want to get out to Atlanta a couple times this year. And I really just want to move around, bro. Like I said, I've always glamorized that Rolling Stone lifestyle. And I think that when it comes to music, there's no better way to promote than to just pack a bag and fucking go. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. I mean, shit. That back in the day, that was hip hop. You go from fucking city to city, you perform a little bit, you pass out your flyers.
That's all music, yeah.
Yeah, you promote, and that nowadays it's all online. You're trying to do everything, but sometimes you got to get out there. Sometimes you got to get out there and go one-on-one with the fans. You got to fucking
facts, yeah.
Shake some hands and fucking kiss some babies out there.
Like you have a new song, you could send that link to 1,000 people, and like, you know what I mean? However many of them, a couple hundred of them might click on it, listen to it, check it out. But it's like, when you go out in public and you meet somebody, they can't ignore you, bro. They have to check you out, whether they like you or don't like you, whatever. But they have to check you out. I mean, maybe they could ignore you, but it's like, I don't know. You're
more likely to get them to actually engage with you if you meet them in public.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So, there's no better there's no better way to promote than word of mouth and meeting people and just fucking doing shit, man.
Well, I definitely am excited for the next chapter in Gringo the MC, man.
Facts, me too, bro. I don't know. I'm kind of scared.
I know a lot of people are waiting for this episode. A lot of people have wanted this.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. Shit, I'm happy that people want to hear from me, man.
I don't remember where I heard you from. I know it was on Facebook.
I don't remember where I found you. I just feel like I've kind of like just known. I know I found out about you within the last probably couple years, I think, right?
It was I've only been doing the show for a little bit over a year, so it was probably within the last year. But
yeah, it had to have been, yeah.
I don't remember how I heard you, and I know it was on somebody.
Was it through Kent?
No, it wasn't through Kent because I just met Kent not too long ago. Shout out to Kent. Yeah. Shout out to Low Key, man.
Yeah, I just saw him. I went to Avant Garden a couple nights ago, and I sat up there, had a couple drinks at the bar, talked to him.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to Low Key as me. Shout out to all the guys over there at Guts Podcast. That's my family, man.
Yeah, Guts. Hell yeah. If you're into horror, man, check that shit out.
Definitely. Guts Podcast on Instagram. That's g.u.t.s.podcast, I believe. Check them out. Man, but no, I think it was definitely on Facebook. I don't remember who it was, but they were promoting your music. They were just like sharing your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, obviously the name Gringo the MC caught my attention.
Okay, shit, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure with a lot of people, your name catches attention.
Are you Hispanic, bro?
Yes.
I thought so, but I didn't.
A lot of people can't tell. A lot of people. I mean.
Well, your name is Hispanic, right? What's your real name?
David Garcia.
Garcia. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but a lot of people think I'm either like a dark white guy.
You look kind of Italian, man.
Some people think I'm a dark white guy.
Kind of Italian. I could see that.
But no, yeah, I'm Hispanic. So I mean, I saw the name and I was like, let me check him out, and then highly impressed.
Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
But I'm definitely excited.
What was the first song you heard, man?
I think it was Django.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
It was that recent. Damn. Okay. Hell
well,
yeah.
because I think it was somebody promoting All Dogs Go to Heaven. And then I think it might have been whenever it first came out or something.
Yeah, it had to have been, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I looked into you, and then I think I added you on Facebook. I added you on Instagram, and I think I added you on Twitter. Yeah. I went all out, I follow everywhere.
Yeah.
But, hey.
That's crazy.
If you're going to fucking find this man, find him on Instagram. Not his Facebook. I mean, you can find him on Facebook. But Instagram. Why don't you let everybody know where they can follow you at, man?
Or Twitter, man. My Twitter need that boost. But,
oh, yeah. Definitely. Twitter, too.
Yeah, man. Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat are all at Gringo the MC. Search MC Gringo on Facebook. Or Michael James McGringo if you want my personal page. I'll be wilding on there.
Yeah, you definitely are a good shit poster on.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I'll be fucking with people, man. They be getting to them, too. But yeah, man, just Gringo the MC everywhere on Spotify, Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? All the platforms, just Gringo the MC, Gringo the MC, Gringo the MC, Gringo the MC, Gringo the MC.
And there's gonna be one. There's usually I look up Gringo the MC, I find you.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think there's any other ones. Yeah, we dealt with that pesky MC Gringo from where's he from? Brazil.
Yeah. Hey, not you. Nobody likes you. Everybody likes this guy.
I ain't gonna lie though, he got fans though.
Hey, but you're not Gringo the MC, man.
Right.
Check him out. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. You can find your music.
Yeah, man.
Maybe even go back to the Dad Piff. You never know.
Hey, and check out SoundCloud and YouTube and shit, and check out Spotify, Apple Music, because a lot of shit I don't necessarily always post the same shit on all those. You know what I'm saying? All those platforms. So go look through it all, man. Find some shit you like.
Check out The Show Improves. Check out All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
Check out The American. What was it?
American Dream.
American
Don't
Dream.
check out that CD. I don't like that CD.
Hey,
bro.
I like it. I was on night shifts all week this week, and I spent probably about 3 hours listening to your whole discography.
Oh shit! Hell, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking the time to do that.
I like it, man. Hey, what is the next one? It was
Soaked in Bleach.
Soaked in Bleach, man.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's where it started. In my opinion, that's where it started to get good. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, check out all the music. Definitely. I can't wait to put this one out. A lot of people have been expecting it. I'm glad you came by.
hey, of course, man. I had to, man. Shout out Slump. Shout out fucking everybody, man.
We out here. Gringo the MC. Check him out everywhere. Check out the show. Slump Sessions. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Slump Sessions. We're on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you can find the podcast. We're going to be right here. We're putting it out on YouTube, youtube.com/Slump Sessions, man. We out here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay slump. Hey.
Hell yeah.
Roll it up, let it slump. Roll it up, let's roll it up. Why talk about it, be about it, take another shot.